DeeJay K-N-S checking in with part 3 of In the Lab with K-N-S right here on Tuesdays from the bottom on imsdjs.blogspot.com. Today, what we're going to focus on is cue points in Serato. All right, your little hot start buttons that you can set up in your Serato so you can quickly get to different points in the track. That's what we're going to talk about today. If you look over here on the Serato, on any side, on both sides of the screen where it represents the track that goes on each turntables, you see it says ABS, REL, INT. All right. Basically, what that means is absolute mode is this. Let me get a song that you guys might be familiar with, and then you can see what I'm talking about. All right. So, for instance, right now, if I was to put this into ABS mode, which is absolute mode. ABS mode is like true record mode. Wherever you put the needle is where the audio goes to. It jumps like a real record. So right now we're at the beginning of the record. Let's say for instance, I want to like jump and scan. Then I just pick up the needle and it goes to different parts in the song. If you look on the screen here, put the camera right here on the screen. Notice the markers jump into different parts in the audio file when I put the needle down. Alright, so if I wanted to cue this up at the beginning, I have to put the needle at the very beginning of the record. Alright, that is like the closest thing that you get to trying to mimic real vinyl on Serato. Alright? A lot of people still use this mode, or they flip-flop back and forth from absolute to relative. Now the difference is, let's go over to relative mode. That's my favorite mode right there. With relative mode, it doesn't matter. Check it out. Look on the needle here. It doesn't matter where I put the needle on the record. It picks up where it left off on the audio, which is good because in a loud club, or if you're doing like battle stuff and you're scratching heavy and the needle starts to wobble a little bit and jump, the music's not going to skip. You know what I mean? It might give you a little glitch because, you know, it lost a little bit of signal, but it's not going to jump like how a record normally jumps when the needle skips. So, the other thing about relative mode, which is cool, is I can use cue points and jump to different portions, different parts in the song. So, for instance, over here, I got 2 cue points set up. Right now, we're in the first verse. If I want to bring it back to the top, I just hit number 1 because that's my first cue point. If I want to go to another part where I set up, hit number 2. I'll show you how easy it is to set up another cue point. Check it out. Let's go after here. Let's come in with a drum, start to the snares start to roll right here. And all I got to do on the Serato, you can do this on the actual Serato mixer if you have that as well, but we're going to keep it real basic for the people who don't have that mixer. We're going to show you how to do it on the computer, which is basically 1 through 6 represents the left turntable, and 7 through 0 represents, 6 through 0 represent the right turntable. So 1 through 5, the left, 6 through 0, the right. So since I already have a cue point set up with the 1 and the 2 key already, the next chronological order is 3. So all I do is I get my spot in the record where I want it. So like I said, I get the spot where I want to go in the record, which is right where the snares are. Snare starts to roll. Then I hold the command key, which is right here, and I hit the 3. And it puts a marker there. Okay, so I just set up a cue point. Really simple. Now, keep in mind that in order for you to do that on your computer, your caps lock has to be on. Because if your caps lock is not on, then all of these keys function normal, which is going to type in like A, S, D, F, whatever. You put the caps lock on, and now the keyboard is activated to do Serato commands. So right now, this is the 3 cue points I have. This is anti-auto-tune, definitely. So any case, now I got my a couple of cue points set up. Then I'll show you how this works really quickly. Like say I got the record on both sides. If you look at my records here, I have a piece of tape pointing at 6 o'clock. Now normally I would have to have 2 copies of this Death of Autotune records, and then I'd cue it up to the beginning of the song, like how it is now. And then I'd mark my tape. Well, the good thing is I can put the tape wherever I want and put the cue point. Say if I want the song to start at 12 o'clock. If you look at the record like a clock, it's 12, 3, 6, and 9. So I like to have my stuff start at 6 o'clock. So what I'll do is this, just line it up and go over here and hit my cue point. Now the record is right there. So then what I do is I'll do the same thing on the other side. Is I'll go ahead and cue that up. Now I have both of the same records on the other side, on both sides, queued up to the beginning. So I can do this. Let me jump to my other cue point.
Hold up. To rewrite history without being no idea. Only nigga to rewrite history without being no idea. Only nigga to rewrite history without a pen, no ID on the track. Let the story begin. Begin. This is it. Begin. This is begin. Death for the ringtone, this by iTunes, this single, the Contra at the opera, bring a blonde.
So anyways, real brief, that's how you can utilize your cue points to quickly jump to different parts in the song without you having to actually spin the record and find it. So you can really never miss a cue, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times when, you know, 2 records go together really quickly, you know what I'm saying, you might only have a few seconds to jump from one record to the other, and you really got to find that. In a loud club, sometimes you can't hear properly, sometimes your needle skips, so you miss that opportunity to really tear the club down with that transition. With Serato, you have the capability to set up your cue points ahead of time, and you can set up 5 different cue points that are accessible from your computer or from the TTM57 Serato mixer. You know what I mean? So make sure you dig into this. Use those cue points, man. I use cue points all the time. I used to just use absolute, where it's just like using an actual record where you actually have to put the needle back to the beginning and everything like that. That's cool, especially like I use that in like a reggae segment. You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing a run drop segment, I might want to dig into like certain spots of the records and cut back and forth. So in any case, a little something, you know what I mean? Check out, be on the lookout next month for In the Lab with K-N-S Pop 4. Shout out to Mike May at Rane, Steve, and all the guys at Serato, and imsdjs.blogspot.com, man. IMS is the squad.